Awesome. So I have a preheated skillet here. And what I'm going to show you is some oil-free cooking. So I'm going to explain why oil-free in just a moment. But first thing we want to do is make sure that this pan is hot enough. So just you can take a little bit of water or veggie stock or other kind of liquid. Woo! So we have some bubbles going, and that is perfect. So we want about a medium-high heat. Now, when you're doing either dry sauteing or, using another kind of liquid, any kind of liquid really, but my favorites are water or low sodium veggie stock, you want to make sure to preheat the pan. This is a key factor. So medium high heat, I have this on about a 7. And then you want to start with your highest water, longest cooking vegetables first. And so I'm going to start with some lovely onions. Now, this is a simple stir fry that I'm doing. Frankly, I would add more things than this, but I want to keep this nice and quick. It's just a bit of a quick demo for you. So why oil-free? Well, I can tell you that oil is extremely calorie dense. It is 120 calories per tablespoon. Think about how much you use in that's a little warm. See how we got a little singeing there. So think about how much oil you currently use in your cooking, and that can add up very, very quickly. The other thing with oil is it's actually a very highly processed food. It is, an olive, for example, or an avocado, and what has happened is, the oil has been extracted, just the pure fat, and all of the fiber and most of the nutrients have been left behind. And so you're much better off if you want those high quality fats and avocado and olives is to actually eat the whole thing. Like Dr. Stevens was talking about in terms of sugar, that fiber helps our body to absorb and digest these things appropriately. And it's protective. That fiber is absolutely key. And so you see here, the onions are starting to release their water, and that helps to keep things from sticking. But we have a little bit of caramelization on the bottom. This is actually good. This is adding flavor. But if we want to do that fancy chef term, deglazing the pan, then we can take a veggie stock like this, very, very low sodium. The calories and sodium are quite close to equal. Thank you for that lesson, Dr. Stevens. That was wonderful. So we want to add about a tablespoon or 2 of liquid at a time to deglaze the pan and to prevent sticking. So just move your veggies around. And as soon as they are done to your liking, go ahead and add the next heaviest or most watery vegetable. So this is not a vegetable, this is a fungus, but mushrooms are fantastic because they're relatively high protein, lots of really good stuff in them, and they're extremely low calorie density. So they give you that lovely savory umami flavor without, a lot of calories, without any added sodium. They're just really a lovely, savory, chewy addition to food. So I'm just going to throw those in. You always want to cook mushrooms. Mushrooms have a mild toxin in them. They don't have to be cooked a lot, but a little bit of cooking is a good idea with your mushrooms. So I'm just going to cook these a little bit. With more time, I'd probably brown them up a little bit. I like a little caramelization on my mushroom, but I just want to show you how this all works. Okay, so we just want to spend a little bit of time allowing these mushrooms to release their juices. And in the meantime, picking up the caramelization that's on the pan from those onions that are still continuing to cook. Okay, just for the sake of saving time here, I'm going to go ahead and add my next stage of veggies. So I have a variety of peppers here. Getting lots of color in makes your food more fun, and it's a variety of nutrients. Different colors represent different nutrients. So get those veggies in there. And I really like my peppers to be a little bit crispy. Now you see I have a little pile of garlic in there. You want to put that in near the end because garlic that burns is very bitter, and we don't want that. So just stir that up. Those onions are a smidge overdone. That's okay. The pan was just a smidge too hot for me. That's all right. Doing 3 things at once is not a good idea when you're cooking. You need to focus on what you're doing. So that is one of the tricks to dry sauteing or water or veggie stock sauteing. It's to stay with your pan. So we'll let these just cook, just a little bit of cook on these. Just want to soften them just the tiniest bit, keep them pretty crispy. Let those mushrooms release some of their fluid and add more and more flavor to our stir fry. So again, you know, this leaving out the oil when we're cooking is an excellent way to really bring down the calories that we're consuming without losing a lot of flavor. And what you'll find over time is that, you know, you actually get used to and prefer the oil-free cooking. Once you add, you know, maybe you go to a restaurant or over to a friend's house that's cooked things in oil, it is kind of a sticky coating that you'll find on the inside of your mouth. And, you know, when it comes to oil, this is a perfect illustration of why we want to kind of avoid it, because think about cleaning your pan after cooking with oil. Think about that sticky, slightly slimy residue. And think about that on the inside of your body. Not so ideal. So again, I'm just adding this garlic right near the end of my cooking here. Now, I'm just going to let this cook for just a minute. Every single time I have an opportunity, I add greens. Every single time I have an opportunity. You want to be getting in these greens at least 2 to 3 servings a day. So at the very end, we just want these to wilt just a smidge, a handful or 2 of greens. So I just have some spinach here, which will wilt down really quickly and nicely for us. Just going to put a little more veggie stock in the bottom of that pan, get some more of that caramelization up. That's all flavor under there. So you'll see I'm a very messy cook. That's just the way I like to do it. So I will definitely rescue those little spinach leaves in just a moment. Off camera, of course. So that's a lot of speed. You're going to see that these greens are just wilting down a little bit, and that's all I want. Now, if you like your veggies cooked a little bit more, you go ahead and keep cooking those, but I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. Now, if you'll wait just a moment, I will be right back. Go ahead and take a gander at that gloriousness. So this is actually a lovely example of a good plate. We have a quarter of our plate is a protein source. A quarter of our plate is a whole grain. Quinoa is actually a seed, but it's considered part of the whole grain group. And half of our plate is non-starchy vegetables. That's beautiful. Sometimes what I like to do is a non-starchy vegetable and a starchy vegetable, but this is a lovely example of a really healthful, balanced meal. So thank you so much.